of you who are watching this part, because nobody's on yet, those of you watching this part, I'm late, so my bad. But none of you know that, because if you're watching this part, you're watching the recording. I'm gonna give everybody a split second to hop on. Hopefully I still have some hop on, even though I'm running a little late. Oh, I see somebody's on. Mom life's a real thing, and I very much do this in the mom cracks of my life. So that's just kind of real life, is that I'm going to be late to things sometimes. Will you guys let me know? Hey, Jessica, I recognize your name. I know you're in the Push Mastermind. Will you guys just let me know clearly? Number one, can you hear me? Number two, am I live in the right group? I pulled it up on my computer, but it's dead. Okay, can you hear me? You guys can hear me. Okay, and especially for those of you who are live, we talked about this last time I went live. We're totally gonna talk about it again. I love hearts, thumbs, all the things if I'm talking about something that is helpful, because I tend to go off on tangents. So if what I'm talking about is helpful, give me some feedback, comments, whatever, so that I can make sure that I stay. I'm totally good to talk about stuff that's important to you guys if you're like, oh my gosh, this is helpful. But if I'm like not hearing anything, I'm gonna assume I'm going off on a weird tangent. So keep the feedback coming. Okay, so first off, let's talk about, I have notes, let's hope that I stay on target and I'm gonna pay attention to what time it is. Okay, first off, let's talk about my conversation flow. I don't know if I talked about this last time, so whatever, we're just gonna assume I didn't. So, specifically, I'm gonna talk about how often do I follow up, because I think that's something I'm hearing quite often is, how often do you follow up with people? So let's start with invites. When I send someone an invite, I don't and this is just what I do. I don't send like a, hey, did you get my invite? I never heard back from you. Like, I don't send a follow-up to my invite. I don't like, hey, I invited you and you never told me you were interested. Are you? Like, I don't know. That just feels weird to me. So I don't do that. I send invites, and then I don't if someone chooses not to reply to my initial invite. Okay, right now I'm just talking about my initial invite. If I send an invite to someone and they choose not to reply to it, I'm not going to invite them again on we're 2, 3, 4 months down the road. And that's assuming they're still liking and commenting on my posts or they're still watching my stories. My initial invite says something about, I think I've shared this before, but something about being a cheerleader. So it says like, hey, thanks so much for watching my stories. It's hard to be vulnerable sometimes, but it makes it a lot easier when I have such supportive people in my life, so thank you. Are you interested in what I'm doing, or are you just being a cheerleader? Either way, I see you and I appreciate you, so thank you. That's almost like word for word what it says. So if they don't reply to that, I'm not gonna be like, no, but for real, thank you for being a cheerleader. I don't know, that just feels weird to me. So I don't, but again, I don't really run into the problem. I mean, some people don't reply, but most people reply to my invite. They say, you know what, no, I'm doing CrossFit and I love it, or, you know, right now is just not a good time. I'm just in a season that this just isn't a good time for me, but I love supporting you and I think you're awesome, or whatever they say. I already have a coach. I am a coach. I am one of your challengers, and you totally dropped the ball on just sending me an invite because they got a new Instagram name and I didn't realize who they were, or whatever. So I get a lot of people that reply back, but if someone doesn't reply, Amanda, I'm going to answer your question in just 1 second. If somebody doesn't reply, I don't stress about it. That's their problem. If I thank them, if I gave them a compliment and they can't take the time to thank me for thanking, I don't know, be like, because I genuinely mean it. I genuinely am grateful that they watch my stories. I'm genuinely grateful for that they like and comment on my posts. I mean it. I'm thankful for them. And if they're not going to reply, that's their problem, not mine. I'm not going to message them again. So now, if we're talking I'm getting ready to do my invites 2, 3 months down the road, and I'm like, dude, this name, they're still watching my stories. They're still liking and commenting on my stuff. I'm going to invite them again. And I'm going to say, hey, I still see you watching my stories. I think this would be so fun to do this together. Are you thinking about, are you ready to come do this with me? Just super short, sweet. I don't and the challenge group starts on September 9th, and I know that you don't think you're fat, and I'm not saying you're fat. I just think you, and the challenge groups are $10, and I have a $10 promo off. No, it is very short, very hey, I still see you. Are you thinking about doing this with me yet? And see, like so, and if they still don't reply after I've sent it twice and they're like not replying, they're not expressing interest, like, dude, bye. I'm not going to message them again. I will wait until when they're ready, they'll come to me. Okay. Now, starting a new conversation. Let's start there and then I'll keep going with like, what if someone did ask for info and then they're ignoring me? So, but how do I start conversations? So, I'm gonna be totally honest. I go back and forth. Sometimes I send those messages to new followers. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. I honestly don't love sending them. I hate small talk, like hate it. And so it feels weird to me because, I mean, in real life, if I had like a new neighbor, I would be like, hey, it's nice to meet you. Tell me about you. Like, and I would tell them a little bit about me. When I do send one on Instagram, it says something about how like I'm a major introvert, I'm a homebody, and have 2 girls. I love social media, friends. I just said all of that in a weird order. It says like, hey, so excited that we're following each other. I am an introvert and major homebody, so social media friends are awesome. I'm a mom of 2 and I'm happily married and have a dog, and I love finding cracks in my day to fill my mom cup because holy smokes, it's hard to do that when you have 2 little people. Tell me about you. Like, it does not say anywhere, and I am a 2019 top 100 elite 6-figure earning Beachbody coach. So if you ever want to earn money from me, or if you ever are looking for a business opportunity, I'm here. Like, that is so gross. Do not do that. For the love of all that's holy. So it doesn't say that. And it doesn't say, and I have a real good response rating to people replying because I'm saying who I am as a person, not what I do for a business, not that I'm trying to sell them something. Like, it says nothing about Beachbody because I'm not just Beachbody. I am Ashley McClellan, who has a life and hobbies and children and a family, and I am a person outside of my title with my company. Okay, so that's conversations. I don't freak about sending someone like, oh, but I haven't commented on X number of their posts before I invite them. Oh, I haven't messaged them before. I can't invite. I don't stress about that. I don't do that. If they're watching my stories, they're fair game because they're inviting themselves into my life, and therefore they are choosing to come see what I'm doing every day, and that is someone that's fair game to invite. And if they don't want what I'm doing, they either will tell me or they won't reply to my invite, and I'm going to stop asking. So it's not like I'm going to, I don't know. That just, yeah. So I don't freak out about that. If they're watching my stories, they're getting an invite. That is where 99.9% of my invites come from, are from my Instagram stories. I do some off of my likes and comments, but most of the time is off of my stories. So I do convos. Convos are different. Convos are like, you can do convos. In my head, I don't necessarily just do convos. I do connections. So if I'm wishing somebody a happy birthday and I'm asking them what they're doing for fun to celebrate, that's a conversation. That's a connection. If I am scrolling my feed and I see someone was a bridesmaid in their sister's wedding and I'm like freaking obsessed with the color that she's wearing for her bridesmaid's dress, that I'll comment and be like, oh my gosh, that color is fantastic on you. That's so beautiful. Like a genuine, like if I'm thinking it as I'm scrolling, rather than just keeping that thought to myself, I drop the comment. Like 10 conversations, drops of awesome, building someone up. I feel like my camera is like flicking. I can do that in probably 8 minutes. Like if you're complicating that, it's because you're complicating it. So, and it doesn't have to be, when it says new, it doesn't mean, and granted, maybe Josh is going to come in and be like, do not listen to Ashley. It doesn't mean new in the sense that they just started following you. It means not the same 10 people you talked to yesterday and not the same 10 people you talked to last week, that you're building lots of relationships, that you are expanding your reach, that you are trying to genuinely uplift lots of people, okay? Yeah, that's kind of what Lindsay said too. So, yeah, Amanda, I mean, maybe Josh is going to come in and be like, dude, don't listen to Ashley. I want you doing conversations. I don't do conversations because those feel ingenuine to me. I do conversations if it's a brand new follower and I'm on my A game, keeping track of that, or if it's a birthday, because you will totally get lost in on their wall on their birthday. But I do those in messages, but everything else is comments. Because before Beachbody, that's what I did. I commented on people's, I didn't message them to be like, so I just wanted to see how you're doing. How's life? Like, that just feels super weird to me because I hate small talk. So that's not something I would have done. Do you find it hard to find people in your story that you haven't already invited and feeling you're wasting time scrolling, trying to find them? Does that even make sense? Kelsey, yes, it makes sense. So what I do is, I'm going to come back to these in just a second. If I like sit and just do the comments, we're never going to go through the stuff I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to do this one, and then Amanda, I'll come back to yours after I finish the stuff, and then I'll come back through all the comments and blitz through it. So, now I don't even remember what it was. Do I find it hard? No. So because I'm organized about this, I will go through once and make a list either in Excel or on a notepad if I don't want to toggle back and forth, so you don't have to toggle back and forth because I'm on my phone versus my computer, whatever. However I want to do it, I will go in and make a big list of names that are watching my stories. And I will, if it's someone that I know, like, okay, that person's a coach, that's one of my customers, that's whatever, then I'll I don't write them down, I don't add them to the list, but I'll go in and make a huge list so that I can, let's say you put 150 names on there and you take the time, let's say it takes you an hour to watch your story viewers that much to find 150 names. Well, if you're sending 10 invites a day, you just found 3 weeks worth of invites right there. It took you an hour to find all 3 weeks. And then you can either take another hour and message all 150 of them, or you can blitz, or you just have your list and every day you just go in and pull 10 of them and pull 10, pull 10, pull 10. And so it takes away the feeling from it because you know exactly who you're going to invite, because you already took the time to make the list. So if you're going in every day looking at story viewers and trying to find people to invite, that is going to be kind of a time suck. So I try to do it once a month. I try to be super intentional about it and make a gigantic list that will get me through a month. So that's how I do my invites. Okay, so back to conversation flow and how often I follow up. So let's say somebody asks me for info. So I do follow back up, probably from the day that I sent the original information. I usually try to follow up a couple days later just to say, hey, did you get a chance to look at that, watch that, check that out? Depends on what I sent them. And then I usually give it probably 4 more days. And then I'll kind of, especially if I have a deadline coming, if I have the challenge group is starting, or anything you can do. How many times everything I'm about to say, all good things come from Josh. I'm not about to teach you something you don't already know. Urgency is important. So I want them to understand they're you're up against a deadline here, boo. So I will message them and be like, just wanted to check in with you one more time. Our accountability group is starting on Monday and it's Thursday, and I really want to get you plugged in over the weekend so you're locked and loaded. Are you still thinking about doing this? And then if they still don't reply a week later, then I'll message them again and just say something about, just wanted to let you know I didn't forget about you. When you're ready to do this, I'll still be here. And then I move them to a follow-up bucket, and I'll check up with them for future groups. But I don't you have to follow up with people. I really do think that I'm one of the unicorns, for lack of a better word, that follows Josh's tracker, that I still only do 10 invites a day. And, but average a C 40 or 50, even though I'm only sending 10 invites. And there's a few things I think I'm doing that attribute to that. We're going to talk about that. But one of them is I may only send 10 brand new invites, because an invite is not everything I just said about hey, just wanted to check in and see if you're still interested. That is not an invite. That is a follow-up. So I put 10 brand new seeds in the ground every day with the cheerleader thing. I said, hey, I've seen you watching my stories. I really appreciate it. Are you being a cheerleader, or are you wanting to come do my next accountability group with me? Are you wanting to come coach with me? Whatever I'm inviting to. I put 10 of those seeds in the ground every single day. Brand new, never talk to them. 10 brand new seeds. Then I also do follow-ups. You have to do both. If you get too heavy on invites and you're too busy putting the seed in the ground that you never water the seed, you're going to have a problem. If you're too busy watering the seeds, then okay, great, it bloomed, but you never planted new stuff, so you're not going to have a harvest in a couple months, which is exactly why Josh always says you're reaping the benefits of what you planted 2 to 3 months ago. You have to do both. You have to connect, you have to add to your network so that you have people to build relationships with, so that you have people who are engaging with you that you can invite, that you can continue to connect with and build relationships with, that you can follow up with, that you can get into your challenge group, that you can get into your challenge group or your client group, whatever you sell, get into your group, help them love the product, and then help them become distributor, ambassador, coach, builder, insert word here. Like that is the funnel. So that's why Josh's system is incredibly simple, but it works because it's all the pieces of the funnel. You need to expand your network. You need to build relationships. You need to, which that's connecting. You need to invite. You need to follow up and track them. Hence why tracking's on the tracker. And follow up and then get people in your groups, help them fall in love with it. Those are your builders. So if you think about how wide that started with how many people you add to your network versus how many of them make it into your groups, let alone make it into your groups and love it and become a distributor. If you want the funnel at the bottom, if you want lots of builders, you have to have a massive funnel at the top. You have to have hundreds of new people coming to your page because you have new builder, or you're expanding your network to hundreds of people. If you're adding 10 people a day, then yeah, that's why you have like the slowest drip ever at the bottom of your funnel, because the top of the funnel is not wide enough. Sorry, I have no idea what just happened. So you got to make sure the top of the funnel is super, super big, okay? So that's kind of my follow-up system. Before I go on, because I did this before, before I go on to the next thing, I want to make sure I don't miss anything in here. So this is how more people start to check out your stories. I have like 1,500 people watching me, but the same 60 follow me every day. So like after 1 month, I've invited them. Amanda, I don't keep track. I have no clue how long they've been watching my stories. It could be the first day they've ever watched my stories and I send them an invite. I do not keep track. I do not keep track. What do you do if the people who have watched you on stories have all said no? Legit get the same people and expanding my network. I'm going to talk about that. Okay, so, and I hope Jay Ring, what's up? Okay, so we're gonna talk about the stories thing, about if you, so that was another thing I get asked, is how are you genuinely building relationships and have such a good, what's the word I'm looking for? Engagement, maybe? Like, how do you have such good engagement? So, if you go look at my page, I feel like this is making me sound like I know what I'm doing. I'm just like the John Maxwell book, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I feel like I'm just kind of failing my way through social media and picking stuff up as I go. So from 4 years of never missing a day of posting, this is what I have learned. Number one, if you haven't read the book, The Go-Giver, you need to make that happen, like ASAP. Because when you give more in value than you receive in payment, that is a massive part of how you do business, or what makes people want to do business with you, because people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And so the more you can give in value, the more people will see how valuable you are. So I don't just post. And Josh has there's a reason Josh has a posting calendar for us. I don't just post sweaty selfie, picture of my kids. Flexing, picture of my kids. Shakeology selfie, picture of my kids. Like, it's very strategic. I am trying to build value. So I may be talking about my workout, but maybe that workout post where I mention my workout is also talking about how I had a really hard day and I'm slaying my mean girl by doing my workout and getting those endorphins out. And then I plan on going to do a bubble bath and I'm going to go get a pedicure later once my husband's home and I get a break from my kids. What's your favorite thing to do? And that provides value. That helps them see they're not alone. That's vulnerable. That helps them know they're not alone. And I'm potentially opening myself up to judgment. That's And it's going to potentially boost engagement. If people comment and are like, oh, my favorite thing to do is this, and then I comment back, Facebook is like, oh, people are commenting on this. We should show this to more people. So the more things you can do to get people to engage on your posts, the better. The more that you can tag them. Yes, thank you. Good job, Annie. The book is called The Go-Giver. And there's 3 of them. They're all fantastic. My favorite one is the original one, because that's the first one. It's a 3-part series. If you want to read all of them, fantastic. Start with the first one. First one is just The Go-Giver. So you want to do, so I do this in Facebook, and I do this in my stories. And this is part of why some of you may not love the new tracker with what it talks about with stories. That was 100% my idea. So if you hate it, sorry, that's my fault. Because I was talking to Josh about how I think that's something a lot of new coaches do, or not just new coaches, network marketers in general, that they try to use their social media as a selling platform. And so they're quote unquote doing all the right things, but it's not translating into anything. And so they're freaking frustrated. And so Roseanne, no, if they're watching my stories, they get an invite. I do not judge. They're watching my stories, they get an invite. Preach, April, fantastic book. So that being said, I feel like I'm trying to make everything like vague and figure out how to apply it. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm doing. So let's talk about posts first. So I follow Josh's posting schedule, but I really try to build value. I try to do like a free group or offer free resources. If I'm talking about a personal development book that I love on Audible, I will talk about how I can send it to you for free, which I just reminded me I should put it in my phone. I was like looking for my phone. It's not gonna reach your mind. Squirrel. So like I'll talk about, if I'm like, I don't know if you know you can do that. If they've never received a free book on Audible before, you can send a book and they can receive it for free. So, but Audible will only let you send a book a certain amount of times. So I'm really passionate about like Dave Ramsey. So I've talked about Dave Ramsey before, and then I've said like, if you've never read Total Money Makeover, let me know and I can send you the Audible for free. And then until I maxed out. And I did the same thing with 5-Second Rule. And I've done that with Go-Giver. And I've done that with books that I love that light me up. When I talk about them, I say, and if you've never received an Audible book for free and you want to get it for free, let me know and I'll message it to you. I'll message you a link and you can get the book for free. So not only does that like up engagement to help your algorithm, which that's important. You want people to engage in your posts. That is important. But I'm like genuinely trying to make their life better. I'm not saying that because I want to boost my algorithm. I'm saying it because I think the book changed my life. And if I can give it to you for free and it could change your life too, why the hell haven't you messaged me yet? So I genuinely mean what I say. I think that's important too, is you need to be genuine about what you're talking about. Dave Ramsey is life. All you people are great. So, and I don't think there's a wrong, like you can give away, number one, you can do whatever you want for free, and it does not have to be about your business. Today, this is a perfect example. As soon as I'm done talking to you guys, I'm going live in a free group I started talking all about how I make vision boards. I'm gonna mention Beachbody kind of in passing. It's not a selling group. I'm not selling squat to them. I'm only going to talk about Beachbody because Beachbody is part of my life. And it would be impossible for me to talk about my vision board without talking about how like 95% of that stuff is happening because of Beachbody. But that's all I'm going to say. It's not going to be like I'm trying to pull a fast one on them and I'm going to teach them about coaching. It's not a sneak peek into what a challenge group is. And I'm really going to be talking about how great 2B Mindset is and try to shove Shakeology down there. Like, I'm running a free group to talk about vision boards and my goal of the group is to help people learn about vision boards and to help people learn about the law of attraction so that they can manifest the kind of things in their life that they want to have in their life. That is the goal of the group. The goal is not And then I hope that I have somebody be like, you know what, I'm really intrigued by what you said about coaching. I actually want to become your next elite coach and I want to help you become a millionaire. Would that be possible? Like, that is not the goal. The goal is to help someone's life be better because they learn about how to make a vision board, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing. That this is another. I don't talk about what I talk about here with you guys because I'm hoping one of you who isn't Beachbody decides to leave your company and join me, because then if you join me, then I'll become a millionaire because you're already good at network marketing and you already know Josh, and then dude, I hope none of you ever quit your company and like come join me. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Josh is teaching you consistency, time, urgency, belief, like slay. I come in here, I talk to you guys because I want to give. I want to provide more in value than I receive in payment. That attitude, and I don't get paid to come in here, so I'm really providing, hopefully you're getting something out of it. And even if you're not, I'm doing this for free, so whatever. But the more that you can give in value, the more you will have people who want to follow you. And I actually, I was gonna write this down somewhere. Josh I'm in the Push Elite group, and yesterday he did, we talked about affirmations, and he helped me realize one of my affirmations I've been saying, I was saying it, and anyone who's at Power of I Am, it's one of the ones I shared at Power of I Am, he helped me realize I need to change the way I say it. And I didn't write it down, it's in my phone, which I clearly can't go find it. So it's the affirmation about, I swear this relates, I'm going off on weird tangents, but about, I find new people every day who want to join me is one of the affirmations that I had made because I started telling myself I was running out of people. So I started telling myself I find new people every day so that I would pay attention and bring the law of attraction to focusing on the people who say yes, or the people who ask for info, or the people who comment and say, you're so motivational, someday I want to join you. Like, that is someone who wants to do what I do. It doesn't mean that they purchased from me, but I wanted to train my brain to look for those people. So Josh helped me realize yesterday, one of the most important things you can do with affirmations is tie them to a because statement. So I say, like the way that I tweaked that one and said this morning is, let's see if I can remember this off the top of my head, because I provide value, because it's something about that, because I am constantly providing incredible value on social media, I find new people every single day who want to join me. So, and the reason that and that affirmation feels 1,000 times stronger now. The reason it's so much better is because I tied it to a because statement. I've said because like 8 times in that sentence. Because now my brain is like, oh, damn straight. What can I do to provide value on my social media feed today? How can I make somebody's life better? And you better believe that's going to help me find people who want to join me. That is exactly how I find people who want to join me. So, you want to tie it to a because statement. So what can you do that will bring people to you? And yes, it is important to train your brain to look for those people too, but it's also important to train your brain on the action that's required to make that happen. And I had kind of gotten away from the value thing. And so I'm coming back to that, and I'm really, really trying to make sure I'm providing value and that I'm giving people a reason to follow me, and that so what if you're a Beachbody coach? I still want you to follow me. You're not just following me because I'm hoping someday to sell you a crown back. Like, I still want to be providing value to someone, even if they're a Beachbody customer, even if they're a coach, even if they're an elite coach, they're like never going to quit and join under me. I still want people to follow me. I still want to make people's life better. I don't want to only make someone's life better if it's someone I can sell to. Like, I want to make everybody's life better. And so what can I do to provide value? And what can I do and the more that you can do those kind of things, the more you find your tribe, the more you establish trust. And again, people do business with those they know, like, and trust. That helps people like you because they're like, dude, this girl like ran this free vision board group. That was so cool. And that was really helpful. And she helped me figure out how to do this. Fast forward 3 months. Oh, hey, she's running a accountability group about nutrition. That would probably be really helpful because her vision board group was really helpful. Maybe I should message her and ask for information. Are they going to purchase? I don't know, but I can guarantee you it's going to perk their interest a little bit because they've seen a free group I've done. And if I put that much effort into a free group, what am I going to put effort into if you're paying for like stuff? So that is really, really, the more you can offer free things that do not necessarily have to do with your company. They can be about things that you are passionate about, things that used to be a pain point for you that you have overcome, that you know are a pain point for your target. So I've done a free group before about how I can do a load of laundry, not like wash it, dry it, and then put it away, because in 7 minutes, you can't wash it and dry it and put it away in 7 minutes. So I'm doing like the hour to wash it and then move it and then 45 minutes to dry it, whatever it takes. But I can put a load of laundry away in like, depending on the load, my record is like 1 minute and 45 seconds. And the other day I put away 2 loads I shared it in my stories. It was like 6 minutes and 36 seconds or something. So I've ran a free group about that, talking about my laundry system. And it's not anything special. I think a big part of it is how we put away our clothes, which number 1, I don't fold crap because I don't care. And number 2, we don't hang up very much stuff. Number 3, my kids put away their own clothes. My little girl is almost 2 and she like helps a ton with putting away her clothes. Her big sister 100% puts away her clothes. And then we have like these cubby things that we use for our laundry system so that it makes it so I can throw all my workout pants go in one. So when I'm sorting, all I have to do is sort them into a pile. Bam, they go in the bin. Okay, here's my workout shirts. Here's my workout headbands. Here's my workout tank tops. Here's my, I think shirts and tank tops, that's the same thing. Headbands. Here's underwear. Here's pajama bottoms. Here's shirts I need to hang up. Here's pants I need to hang up. Here's shirts I need, whatever. Okay, bam, we're done. Like, it makes it so I can do laundry super fast. I've done a free group about that. I didn't bring up Beachbody other than maybe talking about like I have a ton of workout clothes that I have to put away every time I do laundry because I work out every day, but that's all. I don't like, and if you ever want to buy a Beachbody challenge bag because you're feeling fat and bloated in your clothes, I'm only a message away. Like, I don't do that. I'm just providing, I run groups usually that are not about Beachbody because I think Beachbody free groups are done to death. And they don't make me different. They don't make me stand out. They don't show who I am as a person. And I don't think people come into Beachbody free groups with the right attitude. And so they don't get results. And then it puts a bad taste in their mouth about, well, if I do a paid group, it's just going to be the same thing. I'm never going to do anything with it because they didn't do anything with the free groups. So I don't like doing Beachbody free groups. I do like 1 Beachbody free group a year. I'm not a fan of them. So I do a lot of free groups. The other thing I do to help build relationships and engagement on social media is I work really hard. This is like the hardest thing in the world to do sometimes. I work really hard to be really vulnerable. And there are things that happen sometimes in my life that are not my place to share, so I don't talk about them. Like there are, perfect example, there's a big thing going on in my life with an extended family member that is not my place to talk about, so I'm not talking about it. But it's hard, and it's something I'm going through, but I'm not talking about it. So I'm not talking about airing dirty laundry. I'm not talking about things that are not your business or not your place or whatever. I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about sharing your mess until it's your message. So because everything needs to have a positive spin, because nobody wants to follow the girl who's complaining on social media every day. And if you're just coming on and complaining about how hard your life is because you're trying to be vulnerable, but in reality you're just talking about how hard your life is, they're not going to pay money to have you help them grow a business because all you do is complain on social media. So, Laura, I have no clue what the Beachbody free group is. I do because I literally do 1 a year. And I haven't done one in almost a year. So I think the last one we did was at Christmas time. And I absolutely hate Beachbody free groups. I do not do them. And I have no fun. And honestly, they don't work very well for me. Part of it's probably my attitude about them. But I don't. So even if what I was doing, I don't feel like it would be beneficial for me to tell you about it because it's not like it brought me any challenge packs. You know what I mean? Because I don't think people have the right attitude about Beachbody free groups. So anyway, I think it's very important to be vulnerable. And it's in a positive way. So perfect example, I did not mean to do this. Timing worked out perfect. I ended up posting a super vulnerable post last night. So if you're curious about an example, you can go read it. That it's blowing up like hotcakes. And it's really boosting my engagement. Holy crap. Because so many people are commenting on it to weigh in on their opinion. I am having to take about 85% of those opinions worth a grain of salt and completely ignore them because they missed the point of my post, or they're giving advice that I was not asking for advice. Holy crap, I'm getting it. I wasn't asking for advice though. But Reader's Digest version, we found out that my little kindergartner, who is starting school on Tuesday, she had kindergarten testing yesterday, and she is not where the typical kindergartner is. And this is not like, we're not getting into how people feel about public school. Like, this is not that. There's a very good chance she's going to be offered a spot in all day kindergarten. And I was absolutely hysterically bawling most of yesterday afternoon, cried myself to sleep, and woke up and cried for several hours this morning. Because I'm so sad that I feel like we went from 3 days a week, 2 hours of preschool. So like 6 hours. Okay, let's try that again. 3 days a week for 2 hours. So 6 hours a week of preschool. We're going to go from that to basically overnight, we're going to 35 hours a week of school, because we're not going to have the transition of 3 hours of kindergarten 5 days a week, because she's going to go for 7 hours of school. And we don't officially know if she got in the OEK extended day program. My sister was a kindergarten teacher. I feel very confident that the OEK program is incredible. But that doesn't mean that it's less hard, that I'm very sad at the idea that my child is about to be gone all day. And I wanted to post because I wanted to remember that it was a hard day, and I wanted to acknowledge the things I had to be grateful for. I'm grateful for her school offers this, and that there's a way to help her get caught up with her letters and the sounds that they make. I am so grateful that I have a testimony of the OEK program, because my sister was an OEK teacher, and I was very involved with her classroom, and she and I talked every day while she was teaching. And so I am very familiar with OEK and how it works, and I know it works, which is why I feel confident about putting my child in there. And I'm very grateful that my child is so excited. And I know that that if she ends up getting offered a spot, I know she's going to thrive, and she's incredibly excited about it. That's what the post was about. That was incredibly vulnerable for me to share. That was very vulnerable. And guess what? Like, people feel like they know me, because I'm not the person who comes on social media and is posting how fantastic life is and we're so excited school starts in 3 days. But on the inside, I am dying because there's a chance she's going to all day kindergarten because I failed as a parent and my kid is behind. Like, it would have been very easy to come in and post a cute picture of her standing in front of the school about kindergarten testing today. Can't believe she's starting kindergarten in 4 days. I could have shared that. And instead, I shared what I did with a positive spin. For the love of all that's holy, you better have heard that spin that I just said at the end. I cannot just come in and post about how terrible it is and blah, 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 blah. And okay, so that being said, it's important to be vulnerable, in my opinion, because it makes it, people do business with those they know, like, and trust. It helps people know me and trust me significantly faster. It cuts down on that time significantly. That doesn't mean that every single person who comments is going to do business with me. That doesn't mean that every single person who commented on that post is someone who's getting an invite to my next challenge group, because no, they didn't comment on a post. Like, no, that was a whole separate, no. But it's going to help my algorithm, because a lot of people commented on that post. And I went in my stories this morning friggin' bawling my eyes out, because I'm so sick of all the messages of people bashing on public school and saying I should homeschool, because I'm like, you clearly missed the whole point of the post. I'm not homeschooling my kid. My kid is behind because I've been her primary educator. So your solution is for me to homeschool? Like, that's no. So I kind of got sick of it. So I decided to go live, or not go live, talk about it in my stories, ended up bawling. My Instagram is blowing up with people commenting on my stories. Guess what that teaches Instagram? Ooh, whatever she's talking about today, it's a hot topic. Let's move her bubble closer in people's things so that they'll watch her. Because, like, whatever she's talking about, people are liking it. So let's move her bubble up. And my Instagram views are through the roof today in my stories, because they're significantly higher than normal, because I have a lot of people engaging. This is why it is in your story checklist from Josh. I need to pay attention. Shoot, I'm supposed to be going live in my free group right now, and I'm not done. They're just gonna have to forgive me. This is why it's in the tracker thing from Josh. that you need to do something that builds engagement in your stories. So is it okay to do a poll sometimes? Yes, but like needs to be something people care about. And the more you can get people to comment, like I don't do polls very often unless it's something that I'm like I was talking about, I'm a big college football fan. Go Cougars. Hashtag what's today? Thursday. Week from today. Oh my gosh, week from today. So excited. Oh, it's fine. I just had a heart palpitation. So excited. 7 days. We don't have cable right now. And so I was like, I think we're probably gonna get cable again for the away games because we have season tickets, but I did not love Dish before. I don't know, but like, do I get Dish? Do I get DirecTV? Like, what do I get? I did not want 400 people messaging me, so I did that as a poll. But guess what? A bunch of people were like, dude, do neither. You should do YouTube TV. Have you heard of Hulu Live? Have you heard of you should use somebody's DirecTV login. You can download an app on your Apple TV. Have you heard of blah, blah, blah? Like people wanted to give me their opinions about the TV that I should. Did you know that you shouldn't do DirecTV because they don't have the Pac-12 network, and then you're not going to be able to watch Utah's games, which hashtag I am a Cougar for life. And my two favorite teams are BYU and whoever's playing Utah. So I like watching Pac-12 network because I like watching whoever's trying to beat Utah. And so like that was helpful for them to comment and be like, dude, don't do DirecTV or you won't be able to get Pac-12. So like that day, my story views were super high. Hi, what's up? You look beautiful. You're naked. I don't want them to see you. What's up?
I want
Hurry, please.
Can I have some maybe some like something like in the future?
Yes.
Like candy or
Yes,
something?
yes, you can have a piece. Okay.
But there's more candy on like
Honey, I asked you to
maybe like
go get a bar.
I don't want a bar, maybe
Okay.
like
5.
I can get like
4.
gingerbread house on Christmas.
Okay, you can open that. That's fine.
Can I just have like
You can try it. It's probably really gross, but if you want to open it, go for it. Okay? Thank you. She waits till I'm live to ask for like the weirdest things because she knows I'll say yes. Okay, go. She wants to open that gingerbread train house that we bought in December. That's freaking disgusting. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. Okay, I missed a couple. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know. Hopefully I finished that train of thought. I think I was talking about the sports thing on stories. Okay, again, I'm not asking for like, do you think I should try vanilla or chocolate Shakeology today? Like, I'm not talking about that crap. Sometimes I talk about like, are you team pink or are you team lemon? Because all my Beachbody girls know that you are like either adamantly fruit punch or lemon energized. Like you like one or the other, and do keep the fruit punch away from me. But I am like team lemon. Like sometimes I talk about that, but that's usually when my husband's with me and he's holding his pink and I'm holding my yellow. And that we'll do a boomerang of both of us. That's when I'll do like a full about Beachbody. Okay. Okay. I generally don't do polls about Beachbody things. When I'm asking for engagement in my stories, I'm asking for engagement about my pillars, my things that are who I am outside of Beachbody. So sometimes those are things about who I am as a mom, but sometimes it has nothing to do with being a mom. Because I'm not just a mom. So I talk about my hobbies. I talk about things I'm interested in. I talk about books. I talk about my kid, that one, that's the one going to kindergarten. We are like going through a big Descendants phase right now. Any like Descendants fans on Disney Channel? We like live and breathe. She wears her Mal costume every day. That's who she's going to be for Halloween. Her wig is coming probably today. She has a Mal Descendants spell book, and we listen to the Descendants 1, 2, and 3 soundtrack on repeat through Alexa all day long. And I talk about that in my stories, and people are always commenting on my stories that they're like, my kid came running in the room because they heard your song. This is her favorite song. They're not even like commenting about what I'm talking about. They can just hear the music, and their kid relates to the same music my kid likes, and they can hear my kid's music. Background. Sorry, I hate how many freaking phone calls I get. So like talk about things that show who you are, that build engagement. The more you can get people to interact in your stories, the more people will see them. the more that you can say things in your stories that are providing value, that you're teaching them something, that you're saying, if you want a list of my favorite personal, this is a real thing, if you want a list of my favorite personal development books organized into category, the link is in my bio. Go check it out. If you are interested in, if you want to get like, and then I'll share a snippet of my personal development book for the day. And I can send this one to like 2 more people for free. If you've never received a free book on Audible, if you want it, message me. And like, I share stuff like that. I share, I try to give value. I try to make, my stories are not just a journal of, okay, I did my workout. Okay, I did my shake. Okay, I did my Energize Shake Off. Okay, I talked about coaching. I showed that I'm sitting in my beautiful office that's straight out of Pinterest and that will make people have limiting beliefs that they can't have a business like mine because they don't have enough like mine because they have to work at a kitchen table. Hashtag that is a real thing that I used to think. And now I'm going to share, okay, here's a picture of my kids. Okay, now I'm going to share my food. Okay, bam, now I did my, like, okay, that's my life. No, I want to like take people through my day. I want to show them who I am. I want to make their life better. I don't want them to watch my stories and feel like they just wasted time watching my stories. I want my stories to make their life better. Hashtag, isn't that what I said earlier about my posts? I want my stories to make their life better. I want them to hear that the song that I put over my workout is really a motivational quote, and I'm like instilling PD in them. I want them to see a new affirmation I made that maybe they can start saying too if it's something they struggle with too. I want to show them a new pair of shoes I found for my kid that were on sale that they should totally go get. I want to talk about how my kid is struggling and is behind in their letters. So if you feel like a bad mom, dude, preach, I am here for it. Like, I want to talk about things so that people feel like they're not alone, so that people feel like they can relate to me, because people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And the more that I can make my stories beneficial so that they are benefiting someone else's life, the more they come back and watch my stories. That's how my story viewers grow. That's how I have people to invite to. And the more that I can do stories that people comment on, the more Instagram moves my bubble up, which also brings new people in. And then because they like what they saw, because I made their life better that day, they stick around. Like, it's like a circle of life. So you have to make your stories engaging. You need to talk about things you care about. You don't have to be like passionate, fire, breathe, and energized person. You just need to talk about things you care about that you think will make other people's lives better. And is not you talking about, complaining about your kids or your next door neighbor. Like, you need to talk about like real things in your stories and not try to sell your crap. Like, do I talk about my stuff? Yes, I do. Do I do a call to action every damn day? But that is not, it's, think about a TV show. If you're watching a TV show and it was, I mean, you think about the average TV show, think about it, it's on Netflix. It's what, 22 minutes an episode, 23 minutes, which means there's 7 minutes of commercials that they took out. So out of 30 minutes, it's about 25% is commercials, okay? About 25% of your stories should be commercials, which that is workout, Shakeology, your product, if you're not a coach, your product, your business opportunity, that all fits into your advertisement. The other 75% needs to be like the meat of your TV show, and that you're trying to entertain, that you're trying to uplift, that you're trying to inspire, that you are talking about something you're passionate about. Like, that's what that other 22, 23 minutes, that 75% is. And if your stories are 98% commercials with one little sprinkle of your family in there, well, no shit, no one's watching your TV show. Would you watch a TV show that was 27 minutes of commercials and there was 3 minutes of the show, and then it was 27 minutes of commercial before there was 3 minutes of the show again? You wouldn't watch that. Like, it's very important that 75% is the show and 7 minutes, 25% is your commercials. Okay. Okay. And yes, Annie, I did say in that post, I did not want opinions. Julie, yes, I post the exact same thing on Facebook and Instagram. I don't always necessarily recommend that. If you haven't read the book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, there are certain posts that do significantly better on Facebook than they do on Instagram. I am a storyteller. I like to tell stories. Those don't do well on Instagram. as posts. They do fantastic in my stories because I can just come on and do like this. But they don't do great in posts. So my Instagram post algorithm isn't all that fantastic. I don't get like hundreds of thousands of likes. I don't even get thousands of likes. Facebook, Facebook likes when I share a story. Facebook likes that. And stories love when I share stories, but Instagram doesn't necessarily love it. So I do copy and paste the same content because I don't stress about done is better than perfect. So I get the damn post up, but I do try to think about making sure my first line is like super strong so that people will want to click see more in Instagram. I really try to pay attention to my pictures, make sure they're eye-catching, I'm using good lighting, that I'm using similar presets so that my Instagram feed is pretty. But that's all something I'm learning as I go 4 years into the business. I just learned what a preset was like 4 months ago. I was 5-star by then, so don't tell me you can't grow if you don't know how to do presets because of bullshit and you found an excuse for your limiting beliefs. Our limiting beliefs are constantly looking for proof to justify our fears and excuses. Like that, don't give me that. I will flip on you. Don't give me that. Okay. Yes, Laura. So, and that's the thing with being vulnerable is you're gonna get opinions you don't want. When I asked about DirecTV and Dish, dude, I will never get DirecTV. I hate them with a fire-breathing passion. I will never get DirecTV. So anyone who suggested it, I just kind of, awesome, thanks for your opinion, girl. Like, I don't need to tell them. I really was asking just because I'm trying to boost my algorithm. I actually already know I'm getting it. Like, no one needs to know that. I said thank you. Like, and with all the people who are commenting on my post about my daughter and bashing public schools, I'm just going to like their comment and move on. Like, just because they think differently, like, that's fine. That's fine. So you do need to be aware of that. When you're vulnerable, when you're doing things, you're going to get opinions. Opinions are like buttholes. They all stink. Like, you just take it worth a grain of salt and just know that it's going to happen. Okay. Okay. Yes, Sarah's been an incredible day. That's right. And I had a family member die last night too. It's the fourth family member in a week and a half to pass away. And we had a family member last week. We found out they got cancer. And like I said, we have a whole nother situation going on, 2 other situations going on with family members. One of them involving lots and lots of doctors, one of them involving lots of police officers that I'm not allowed to talk about. So it's fine. It's fine. So again, you don't have to be vulnerable about everything because I have things going on I can't talk about. So that's okay. But going on and putting on my show, on my Instagram show, my social media show, I just made you guys crooked, how perfect life is would be very inauthentic right now because life is a freaking shit show around here. So it doesn't mean I have to rain on the parade. You need to keep it positive though. For the love of all schools, you have to keep it positive. That is so important. And if you can't keep it positive yet, do not talk about it yet. That's a surefire way to know it's not time to talk about it. You can't keep it positive. Okay. Annie, you do not have to do a poll for engagement. It can be asking for a new, not that I recommend this, but asking for a new Netflix show. If you're asking for a new Netflix show and Josh catches you, you better be 100% on that tracker. He is going to lose his shit at you if he finds out you're watching Netflix before you've done your tracker. Just saying. So, but you can add, people love to tell you what Netflix show they're wasting their life watching right now. Like that's always a surefire way to get good engagement. You can also say things like, I have an awesome PDF of recipes I just put together of some of my family's favorite healthy recipes. If you want it, let me know and I'll message it to you. And I did that once. I got like 450 comments. That took me so freaking long to message that many people the PDF. But guess what? That just gave me 450 people to build relationships with and invite later down the road because clearly they're interested in feeding their family healthy things. So like that's the point of those kind of things is, well, sometimes it's the point. So an engagement post can also be a way to help you figure out who to connect or who to like be inviting down the road. Dude, Julie, you're my person. Fruit punch is nasty. Yes, Sarah, show them who you are and make their life better. So much, so much, so much. Okay, last thing I want to talk about, making this fun and helping my people engage. So that is something I learned a couple years ago. I'm really passionate about talking about this. So if you've ever heard me talk about this before, 10 to 1, you've heard me say it's very important you're having fun. So that being said, so I'll give you some examples of what we do. So we do in case you haven't picked up on this yet, I'm a coach. So I'm Beachbody. So we do like a challenger call on Mondays with all my clients. And we talk about our, like I teach them something, whether it's something about mindset or we're talking about like a way to tweak the nutrition plan or whatever. It's like a team call, but I do it with my challengers. So they get on too. And I usually try to keep what I'm talking to them about for like 15 to 20 minutes. But clearly I can get a little long-winded. So sometimes it's a little longer. And then we do like an open Q&A that we can just kind of talk about whatever. And I generally don't record the Q&A part. It's just for the people who are on live. And then I record the first part and then I upload it to our Facebook group. So there's a record of the last 6 months of calls. So there's this incredible resource for them. And it makes it I feel very confident talking about my challenge groups because I know this is something I provide, that I'm receiving more in value than I'm receiving in payment because I do this. And so does Sally Sue, who got the exact same commission for a challenge pack that I did, but she doesn't do a free call or a call once a week with her people. So it makes me feel very like I provide more in value than I receive in payment. I'm providing as much value for my clients as I can. And it's not one-on-one. So it's very easy to do it once and have it touch my whole customer base. So we do that on Mondays. That being said, does every single one of my people get on? No. Does every one of my people watch the recording? No. And again, this goes back to that training I was talking about with my mindset and that affirmation I made. I pay attention to the people who thank me for it. I don't pay attention to the fact that there's 300 people in my accountability group and only 19 people thanked me for that video today. What the hell is wrong with the other 281 people? That's critics math. And it's not even critics math. Maybe those people are out of town. Maybe their dog died. Maybe they're whatever. I don't need to concern myself with those people who didn't take time to watch it. I need to focus on the 18 people who did, 19, whatever number I just said, who did watch it, okay? Tuesdays, I don't think we do anything on Tuesdays. If we do, I'm forgetting. Wednesdays, we wear pink. And so in our challenge, that's what we do in our challenge group. So everybody wears like a pink headband or a pink shirt or a pink sports bra or pink shoes or pink pants or all of the above. And we all tag each other in our stories and everybody posts their picture in our accountability group. And it's so fun. Does that mean every challenger wears pink? No. Do I freak out about the people who don't wear pink? No, that's their fault because the rest of us are over here having fun. Screw them. Thursdays, we wear our team tank for everyone who rank advances, and we all tag the new person who rank advanced that week in our stories so that we can all be super, super excited for the person in our team who is moving their business forward, whether it's a brand new emerald or it's a sapphire, which is a made up rank in Beachbody. My team made that shit up. Or they're going ruby, or they're going diamond, or they're going star diamond, or whatever. We celebrate everybody for every rank advancement because we are all about celebrating the milestones and focusing on what you're doing right. That being said, does everybody who has a team tank wear it on Thursday? No. Does everybody tag everybody? No. Does everybody who gets tagged reshare all the tags to their stories? No. Is that my problem? No. It's not. That's not my problem. I think it's the coolest thing ever. And I get a lot of comments in my stories when we do Team Tank Thursday because I get a lot of people that are like, holy crap, your community is awesome that they do this. So they see it in my stories because I get to show what I want in my stories. That's all I care about. I don't care if they decide not to talk about it in their stories. That is their problem. That is not my problem. Okay? I provide the training. It's in the training that I'm encouraging them to talk about it. If they choose not to watch that training, if they choose not to listen to my advice, that's not my problem. As long as I put the information out there and they understand what I would do to capitalize on the FOMO, that is my job to communicate that. If they choose not to listen to me, though, that's not my problem. On Fridays, we do Fun Friday. So we pick a different theme depending on the week. And we all do like energized dance offs in the morning while we're making our energized to whatever the theme is. So last week was rap, and it was fantastic. I wore like one of those cut off, doesn't have sleeves hoodies over my head with my headband like over my eyebrows, and then a hat sideways and sunglasses inside. And it was like, my husband was like, dude, you look like an idiot. And I was like, that's how I know I'm slaying. If you are telling me to take this off, I look badass. So clearly I'm super cool. So we did like 90s. I mean, we did rap last week, and we did 80s the week before, and we did movie soundtracks the week before, and we did Disney one week, and we did, I'm trying to think what else we've done. We did country. We just started doing the theme thing not that long ago. We've been doing the dance off thing for a couple months, but we just started doing themes. Tomorrow we're doing 90s. I still need to pick my song. And next week we're doing boy bands. So, I'm doing some Backstreet Boys. And so and then we have a big list of everybody who wants to participate with their Instagram handle so that everybody knows who to tag so that people can reshare to their stories. Does that mean every coach in my team participates? No. Does that mean every coach in my team who gets tagged reshares? No. Is that my problem? No. My story views are always sky high on Fridays because I bring the energy. I control what my stories look like, and that is what matters. So I make it fun. I make it look awesome. I make it FOMO. And if my coaches choose not to duplicate, that's their problem. It's their business. They get to do it the way they want. So it's not my job to make them be clones of me. It's my job to communicate what I'm doing and then give them permission to do the business the way they want to do it. And if they don't want to do that, that's fine. They don't have to. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna, though. I'm gonna do it because I think Fun Friday is the coolest freaking thing in the world. And then Saturdays, we do a Zoom workout together. I haven't been on the last 2 weeks because one of the weeks my alarm didn't go off, and last week was my anniversary, and I was out of town, and I was sleeping in because I did not have children coming in to be my alarm clock, and I was in a fancy hotel with my husband, so I was not getting up at 6 a.m. to work out. So, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Saturday, I'm going to get up and I'm going to work out with them on Saturday. And I'm going to share it in my stories how fun it is that we get up on Saturdays and we talk together for a minute and then we do our workout together and then we just sit and girl talk. Except in reality, I'm just sitting in my basement. I didn't have to go anywhere. And when my kids woke up, I was still home, but I got to have girl talk because I have a community. Like, people want that. That's fun. Does that mean every single one of my coaches and clients is going to get on? Nope. Is that my fault? Nope. It's not. It's my job to communicate that it's coming. If they choose to get on, fantastic. If they don't, they're lost. So, okay. Was this helpful? Now that I read the comments as I went, I think I actually managed all the comments today. I'm not going to have to scroll back and do a big Q&A thing at the end. Do you guys have any final comments, questions, thoughts, concerns about Sum Up? Talked about how often I follow up. I talked about ways to up your engagement on social media and build genuine relationships and be vulnerable. And I talked about how to have fun and to make people engage. Hashtag, you can't make them engage. But the more fun you have doing this and the more committed you are to doing it, whether they do it or not, the more people will join it. First time we did Fun Friday, we had 3 people do it. And now it's a lot. We have a lot of people do Fun Friday, but it started with 3. It doesn't have to be that when you're trying to do something fun that 95 people have to do it with you. And if your downline doesn't want to do it with you, find some of your sister people who want to do it with you. Find some of your, I have lots of people I know who have jumped into my Fun Friday thing that they're not in my team, but they still do it with me. Cool, more power to it. I'm trying to make people's lives better. This isn't I'm only keeping this to me. I can't tell anybody about Fun Friday. This is stupid. Dude, I don't care. I hope all of you do Fun Friday tomorrow and tag me. I'm giving you a heads up. Tomorrow's Fun Friday is, what did I say it is? 90s. Fun Friday. And good thing I didn't tell you my song because I haven't picked it yet. But if I tell you, then you'd all copy me. So I hope you do Fun Friday tomorrow. I hope you tag me. And I hope you tag 5 people in your team so that they can do it too. And just a heads up, in case you don't know this, you have to be listening to the music through your phone. You can't be making up dance moves and then go into Instagram and add music over the top of it, because then people can't share it to their stories. So turn on some music on your computer or your Alexa, and don't do anything from Greatest Showman. That's not 90s, but Greatest Showman gets flagged for some reason, so don't do Greatest Showman. And then tag a whole bunch of people and make it super fun, and have a dance party in your stories, and watch your energy change that day. Watch the engagement in your, and people will vote in my stories. They will comment on oh, this one's my favorite this week. Oh my gosh, your sister was freaking awesome this week. I loved hers this week. Oh my gosh, this one's my favorite. I love that she had her kids do it. People will comment. I totally get engagement. And I'm not saying, could you please vote below on which story you thought was the most appealing? You don't have to ask people to engage if you're doing it right. They'll engage because you're making it you bring the fun, people will reciprocate. Be fun. And this is coming from someone who literally has to schedule Fun Friday because I don't naturally do crap like this. So learn to have fun. Make the business fun. Make your groups fun. Make your business groups fun. When you have fun in life, you are a whole lot more likely to feel fulfilled, and you're going to be a lot more likely to bring people in. Now, that being said, you do not just say, you should come join my team. We did Fun Friday and we have the best team ever. No, my team works their asses off and we work hard, which is why we have Team Tank Thursday and there's promotions. That's why we're getting ready to celebrate being a 2-time elite team. We work hard. We just have fun in the process. Do not get so busy showing the fun and the fulfillment and I love my team and I love the happy feels and I just love my team. Don't get so busy talking about how much fun you have that you forget to talk about the fact that you work your ass off. You need to talk about that. It is both. Boo. You got to do both. Oh, Triller app. Everybody who doesn't know about the Triller app, get the Triller app. Get the Triller app. It's great. It's kind of like TikTok, but it's great. It's great. Yes, April, I have totally, my whole team, none of us have any issues about copyright violation. You just have to be careful about what you're using. And we don't post it on my wall. It's only in my stories. I have had people that try to share what they're doing in their posts and it doesn't work because the copyright violation thing breaks out. But if you're just sharing it in your stories, the only thing I've ever had issues with is Greatest Showman. It's the only one I've ever had it be you're not allowed to share this. Everything else doesn't care. So Triller is fantastic. It's an app. Makes fun. Oh, Fun Fridays went to a whole new level once we discovered Triller. Triller is fantastic. Okay. All right. That's all I got. I'll see you guys next month. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the stuff I talked about. I hope this was helpful. Make it fun. Share who you are besides being your company's business and a mom, and share more than the fun, fluffy stuff of being a mom. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think being a mom is one of the hardest jobs I've ever done in my whole friggin' life. So that doesn't mean I don't love it. That doesn't mean I'm not fulfilled by it. But being a mom is hard sometimes. And that's what makes people relate to me, is I'm not just coming in and talking about how life is perfect and bliss and rainbows and look, my children have perfect hair and cute smiles and matching outfits every day. Nobody can relate to that. We can do that on Family Picture Day and when we're posting for an Instagram picture, but that's not my real everyday life. No, it's a freaking shit show. And the more that I talk about that, makes people be like, dude, if her life is that much of a hot mess and she is still slaying her business, maybe she could teach me how to do it too. That subconsciously instills belief in people. When you're showing that you're not perfect, it makes people think that they don't have to be perfect to do this either. So you being vulnerable helps your business so much. But again, you have to do it with a positive twist. And if you're like, dude, I need more information about this vulnerability thing, Brene Brown. Every TED Talk, personal development, book, audio, physical, YouTube, Brene Brown. Brene Brown, Brene Brown, Brene Brown. Okay? Okay. All right, I need to go make some new notes, and then I need to go live in my vision board group that I'm half an hour late for. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, love you guys. Bye.